Oh, hello. What are you doing here? In Walthamstow. Well, somebody or something seems to have rattled the cages of a number of people. Suddenly had an onrush of subscribers today. My subscribe count ain't moved for flipping ages. Not getting any thumbs up, so I guess the new subscribers ain't fans. Not really worried about it. Not trying to build a YouTube channel. Then I found out that Brian Harvey has reported me to the police. Anyway, I was like, my first reaction was, great. I know. Sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? My first reaction was great. It might take something like that, you know, to get to the bottom of things. You know? About how we got to where we are at. You know, with Brian Harvey's set up in Parliament Square by MI5. Interestingly enough, I ended up getting recommended Christine Joanna Hart video. It was some sort of statement, it appeared to be anyway, about the BBC and what she'd been up to. I don't know, she's in some sort of trouble. I recognised quite a lot of things she said in that video in my own life, weirdly enough. She's not really my cup of tea. I'm a bit more of a realist. Anyway, back to the Harvey fellow. Anyway, he's reported me to the police apparently, so I gave the police a call. Not interested. Maybe he hasn't reported me to the police. He does tell a lot of lies on YouTube, but I've got to be honest with you people, he lies his nuts off. Makes all kinds of weird stuff up. Because he is trying to build a YouTube channel, you know, to replace the fame, the public attention that he lost. You know, he has a real need to be in the public eye and be popular. You know, do love a travel lodge. So he does try to build a YouTube channel. Me, I'm telling the truth. I don't care, and I've said it a number of times before, I don't care whether you believe me or not. I wonder if I should flag them down. There's a police car there, I wonder if I should flag them down. Ask if they want a word with me. I have done that already on the telephone. Not interested at all. And of course they know exactly where I am. So they could have come and seen me today. What if they're looking for me? Oh, got a thumbs up from him. Lovely. Well, he might be coming round. Hang on. He's changed lanes. Oh, is he going? He's gone. Oh, we said hello anyway. Damn. Come back, come back. He's following that car, isn't he? Yeah. Where was I? Oh yeah. It's funny what videos of mine he chooses to watch. Of course, Brian Harvey's also lied to you about knowing who I am. Brian Harvey's known who I am for a very long time. He pretends that he doesn't know who I am. This is Brian Harvey. at Parliament Square. Of course, I met Bill Maloney in 2011 down at Occupy, you know, that fake protest, where Tammy Samee, Brian Harvey's mate, was a bit of a bigwig. Another Christian. And Bill Maloney came down there. I was interested in Bill Maloney because of what he was doing. And so I followed him. I didn't really buy what he was doing. Didn't really buy it at all. Things just didn't add up. So I started asking a few questions and got loads of threatening responses. For asking, really, quite perfectly reasonable questions. And I noticed a few other people that asked perfectly reasonable questions also got a barrage of hate and abuse. Of course, I've been set up for kidnapping and firearms offences. I know exactly what the state's capable of. We could strictly say that I knew there was a cover-up in child abuse when I was 14, 15. I definitely knew there was a cover-up in child abuse in 1988. There was no mistake in it. My life's never been the same since. Anyway, I followed Bill Maloney through 2012 online. I didn't watch everything he did. I caught the salient bits, you know. Kept asking questions, kept getting harassed, kept getting threatened. Noticed how other people that asked reasonable questions got harassed, got threatened by all the trolls in the comments section. Things didn't really stack up. And questions that were reasonable were not being answered. Anyway, when I saw the Ben Fellows thing, I thought I'd go up Parliament Square. If there's a protest to be had, I'll join the protest. And also might get a chance to ask people a few questions. Anyway, it was quite clear, as soon as I arrived, on my own, the only protesters that turned up all turned up in a group, and there was about 12 of them. And with them, they had Brian Harvey. I'm like, now, why is Brian Harvey here? He's not a renowned protester, is he? What's he doing here? About child abuse, when the police were looking into what they call VIP child abuse, carried out by people in the music industry and MPs and things like that, you know? Why is he here? Anyway, I went and spoke to Bill. Bill wasn't very forthcoming. And what they were doing there was making a film for social media. It wasn't a protest. And I could see that, so I started agitating a bit. I spoke to absolutely everybody there. I mean, I say everybody, there was 12 people there. They were all in a group. None of them were very talkative, including Brian Harvey. And I asked Brian Harvey what he knew about Bill Maloney and how long he'd been following him for. A couple of months, he said. He knew that he was a child abuse activist. I'm like, okay. I warned Brian Harvey then to be careful what he was getting involved with, and perhaps he should check out more out about Bill Maloney. Anyway, Brian Harvey looked very sheepish. He didn't like what I'd said. I knew that he would go back and tell Bill exactly what I'd said. When I came back from that event and got home, I went on the computer to see what people had said about this protest. And I had a number of threats to me. A couple of them were death threats. Threatening me with violence. And those threats appear to come from Bill Maloney, Ben Fellows and Brian Harvey. So I screenshotted them and printed them out and took them down to Stoke Newington Police Station, who were not in the slightest bit interested. But the police station was being run by a police officer I know, a high-ranking police officer by the name of Andy Tarrant, who was one time head of the diplomatic protection group as a firearms officer, who used a woman called Sarah to befriend me. Of course, I first talked about Prince Andrew in 1988, and that is a matter of record at Her Majesty's Prison Grendon. Even the psychiatrists that I've seen in recent years cannot get records from Grendon. The police could though, if something happens, you know. If Brian Harvey's even made a report, I very much doubt he has. But I would be asking my solicitor to get hold of all this stuff, because there's a much bigger picture going on here. Anyway, it's very funny because what YouTube decided to watch, because it was only a couple of months ago Brian Harvey was threatening to stab me in the neck if I knocked on his door. People seem to be avoiding watching that video, which is interesting. Another video people have avoided watching is a good few years back now, when Brian Harvey had the police turn up at his door saying there had been a credible threat to his life. I called the police on Brian Harvey's behalf. I spent hours and hours and hours on the telephone trying to get through to somebody, because it would seem that his threat to life may have come from the same place that my threat to life came from in 2013. And it was to do with things to do with Bill Maloney and John Wedger and Brian Gerrish and all that other crowd. Anyway, that video's been up. There's 2 parts to it actually. That's been up for a very long time, good number of years. Brian Harvey's Safer Neighbourhood Team or something like that. That's me calling them, trying to back Brian Harvey up, that I'd also had death threats from Bill Maloney and Brian Harvey himself and Ben Fellows. Unless of course it wasn't them. But the funny thing about Brian Harvey is, doesn't know who I am, he's set up at Parliament Square, that video. I'm in that video. I've pointed that out a number of times to people. That's me in the video. I was there. I've been in Brian Harvey's live chats. He's had me booted off his live chats. One memorable time he was asking to have it out with everybody. He wanted to have it out with Danny Jones Oaks Police, who's never met any of these people. Never met Bill Maloney, never met John Wedger. That is Brian Harvey all over. The people you think he might want to talk to might be people who've been at his set-up in Parliament Square. So that would be me. And I put myself on offer to speak to him lots and lots and lots of times, and he's always avoided me. I'm getting up his nose. I mean, let's be honest here. If you went along to an event that you thought was going to be a protest, and there was only 12 people there, and you genuinely believed that these 12 people were MI5 and they were setting you up, wouldn't you do some checking to find out who those people were? Why would you jump to some weird conclusion that they must be MI5? Brian Harvey don't believe that those people at Parliament Square were MI5, and he doesn't believe, genuinely, that he was set up in Parliament Square. That's a lie. If you were him, you'd want to know who those people were. Of course, Brian Harvey was also involved with Bill Maloney. Bill asked me if I worked with him. I quite like Bill. So easy to get inside his head. He's going to be very cautious when he brings his bins in from now on, I'll tell you that. I actually thought I was helping him by pointing that out. I mean, he fears for his life, he won't leave his own. It's not me fearing for my life particularly. I mean, I've had death threats and things like that. But I just spent 40 days and 40 nights in a tent in the car park at the Tavistock Centre in Hampstead. I mean, I'm in a tent. I spend quite a lot of time in a tent. You're very vulnerable when you're in a tent. I actually chose to make myself homeless because people kept threatening to take my home away because I won't stop talking about Prince Andrew and Kenneth Kendall. I really think I should wave down some old Bill somewhere along the line. Oh, he's on his Todd. I'm only to be seen in twos, I'm that dangerous. Yeah, so not only have I kidnapped former members of the Royal Irish Regiment at gunpoint, I'm also a very dangerous psychopath. Of course, it's interesting to me as well. Back in 2012, I reported historic abuse where I've been picked up in an amusement arcade and taken to an address in Royal Crescent, Kensington and Chelsea. And the police lied about their ability to investigate that event. And then I, rather bizarrely, coincidentally, synchronicity, got a move to Plymouth in Devon, where Bill Maloney and John Wedger and Dylan Efford showed up at UK Columns Christmas party to try and frighten me off. But the harassment in my life increased when I'd reported something, you see. And recently, I've also made another report, and this time I've made a report about Prince Andrew, a sexual offence that happened when he was a few doors down. BBC's Kenneth Kendall, and I was going to report all the others. But trainee detective Vincent Cam hasn't come back to me. Very urgent, I'll come down to London. Couldn't wait to get me to London. Told him when I'd be here, and now that I am here, he's gone silent. Absolutely silent, not a peep. And interestingly, what happens is Brian Harvey turns up again. He turned up not long after I'd made a report about Royal Crescent, Kensington and Chelsea, and I've been down to police again, and now he suddenly recognised who I am. And I bother him so much that if I go and knock on his door, he's going to stab me in the neck. How did I know John Wedger was at Buttermere Court? Well, I do believe Danny Jones Hoax Police did a video on that and told everybody on YouTube. So, I went down to Buttermere Court. John Wedger don't work there, I'm just letting you know that. And nobody's going to go and check it, are they? So you can all disbelieve me and believe that John Wedger works at Buttermere Court. He don't. I found myself outside Brian Harvey's house the other night. And that's because Brian Harvey has doxed himself. He's told everybody where he lives. Because other people were telling YouTube where Brian Harvey lived. I got Brian Harvey's address from Brian Harvey. He's the one that gave it out. I never saw them doxing videos on him. I would go down and knock on Bill Maloney's door, but I don't know where he lives. I'd also quite like a word with Danny Jones Police. He was making accusations and insinuating things about me a few years ago. I know if John Wedger wants to return the favour and tell me where Danny Jones Police is, I'll go and knock on his door. And if Brian Harvey thinks that I won't go and knock on Bill Maloney's door, because Brian Harvey knows where Bill Maloney lives, all he's got to do is say, hasn't he? I'll go down and knock on Bill Maloney's door. Because Bill Maloney, I've met him. I've met him since Parliament Square, see? And he hasn't threatened to stab me in the neck. Thanks very much for your support. I'm going to go and see if I can find a copper and myself in for something that Brian Harvey hasn't reported. There's a lot of them driving about. Oh, we've got flashing lights now, hang on. I'm here, officer. I'm here. No, does he want me? No, it's gone the other way. Usually, I've been in a bus station, there's usually a couple of coppers in the bus station. Well, I say coppers. Community support officers. Oh, they've gone down there, hang on. Oh, they've gone in the petrol station. Maybe they were just about to run out of petrol, who knows. Yeah, I've been hanging around the bus station for a while. Had a lovely Sunday dinner in a restaurant down here. Lamb shank, lovely it was. Very tender. And I like a walk after I've had a big meal. And I came down there, there's no police, no community support officers, can't fucking find one. When you need one, you can't find one, can you? You know. Oh, hang on. Mickey Mouse there, look. They're very busy dealing with something, aren't they? Oh, hang on, there's some coppers over there. I bet they're dealing with something over here and all. Hello, boss. Yeah, not too bad. Oh, you're Sergeant, sorry. Oh, you are the boss then, are you?
Yeah, no. Got governors in the back.
Hello, mate.
Hello.
Are you the governor?
One of, yeah.
I think I might have come to hand myself in. Failed pop star Brian Harvey, do you know him?
Yeah.
Apparently he's reported me for something today.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Sorry, I've just had roast lamb, mate. Is it?
That's right. I don't even know. I recognise the name, but
He's a failed pop star. He used to be in a band called East 17.
oh, he's 17. Yeah.
Yeah.
Penny's just dropped.
He's apparently reported me for something today to the police. So I've been looking for a police officer. I did call up earlier, yeah. I called and they wouldn't say anything. I don't want you wasting your time hunting me down, you know. Because I don't feel like I've done anything wrong.
Hello, mate. Hola. See you later, yeah?
See you later, brother.
I'll probably see you in 5 minutes.
No fighting, yeah?
So can I come in?
No. A name check.
Go ahead, Darius. Oh, I want to come in.
We are currently.
Darius,
What is this road?
Can I come
High
in?
Street, E17, I think.
Wait, come in. Can I come in?
The thing is, he don't know my name. He knows my YouTube name.
Alright. So you wouldn't know, so there's no point with...
Well, he knows a first name.
What's your name and I'll check if
The YouTube name is Paula Mann.
Well, it won't be under that.
But that's all he knows me as, really. Or Cliff.
Stand by.
I'm just at his house for London.
Yeah, it's not going to be under anything like that. Unless... What... Council. What is it about? 'Cause
I don't know, really.
Alright,
He's just online saying he's reported me. Yeah. He threatened to stab me in the neck online.
You reported that, have you?
Well, I tried. People don't seem to take him very seriously.
What, him? Or you?
Yeah, well, or me. I get tarred with the same brush, you know.
Excuse me, sir.
I'm
Excuse
chatting.
me.
Chat.
Hello, mate, you alright?
Will you hold for 1 second?
No.
Please.
No.
Pretty please, with the cherry on top.
No. You
I'll give you a
as nice
donut.
as you can, but
I'll give you a donut.
no. Donut.
You can't bribe a police officer, mate. Or deprive him of his donut.
That was so far. That was so far.
Only way you'd be reported as wanted would be through your name, your details. So that'd be your name or your...
Can you not find out if he's made a report today?
no, I can't. Not under... Not with those details, I can't, no.
Alright.
Even if I could... I don't really. All I've got is his name. It wouldn't really give me any detail. I don't know his date of birth.
Well, all he could report it as is whatever he's reported is somebody called Paula Mann, who's also got the name Cliff.
Right.
So that's all the details he could give you about me.
What's he reported then?
I've no idea.
So how do you know he's reported anything?
Because he said online that he's reported me to the police today.
But he hasn't said about what or
Nah.
for what. Yeah, it's very hard if he's to say he's reported anything to police. If he doesn't actually know who you are. He only knows you online.
Yeah.
I'm assuming if it's online, if it's been online, what sort of offence have we got there? Maybe some malicious comms or something like that. I don't know. Don't know what else.
I made a video in his rave.
I don't know. Maybe anything. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah. But the fella's threatened to stab me in the neck, you know.
Yeah.
You know, when you...
I've met him, yeah, I've met him. Yeah. No, he was, you know when the Jimmy Savile story broke and there was all the investigations, there was people talking about police corruption and all that, right? I was abused in childhood, and it is covered up, as far as I'm concerned. That's my genuine belief, right? I went to, there was this character called Bill Maloney, who Brian Harvey hooked up with, who was supposed to be some sort of activist in child abuse. I didn't really buy him. I thought he was working for the newspapers. You know, like Cole Beach, do you remember that character? Getting a fake victim make loads of lies, so it stops all the investigations. Yeah. Anyway, I went down to this protest to speak to Bill Maloney, ask him a few questions, and Brian Harvey was there. So that's how I know him, yeah. Oh, well, you don't want me then?
The only thing I could
I'm trying to hand myself in, look. Yeah, I can't hand myself in.
maybe go to the police station and have to do checks on his name, see if there's a report, anything.
Oh, he's the man in charge, you're the inspector.
The only way you could do it is if they do a name check on him on the system, see if there's any report made by him, and if that report then relates to anything.
Yeah, I just didn't want you to waste your time, because, yeah.
because I don't know. And the other thing is as well is whether anything tallies up with what you've said. It's the only way of doing it, really.
Yeah. I'll get fed up with him lying online, you know. He makes lots of lies about people online. All right, thanks very much.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for your help. Yeah, have a good night.
All the best.
All right, there you go. I've tried to wear myself into 2 sergeants and an inspector by Walthamstow Station, and they're not interested. That'd be quite nice, eh, for coppers?